We're in a really interesting part of construction right now. So they call the first part of tunneling turning under. And so we just did that a couple of weeks ago. And so we're only about 10 feet into the tunnel now, but it's a big milestone because we've completed construction at the downstream portal. And so we have that a safe area to work now. And it provides for a great construction yard to stage equipment and to really bring in the tunnel mining equipment that we need to build the tunnel. So successfully have turned under the tunnel and we're ready to get going and start making our way up to the upstream portal about 2 miles away. We're starting to build the tunnel from the downstream portal going up, and the primary reason for doing that is simply because of access. So at the upstream portal, the portal starts on the other side of the river from where the primary access roads are, and so we actually have to build a floating bridge across the reservoir to get to the upstream portal. So from an access perspective, it's much easier to get to the downstream portal, to bring in equipment, material, to stage, to have a construction yard. And so it makes the most sense to build the tunnel from the bottom side going up. There is a lot of work to do at the upstream portal as well, and we will have quite an extensive operation up there to build the tunnel itself, but the tunnel itself will be drilled from the downstream portal up. The tunnel is 12,106 feet long. It'll be made of concrete, and so it's interesting. The tunnel is actually specifically designed to run in the old Stanislaus riverbed. So where the river is today isn't actually where it was millions of years ago. And so the tunnel's been designed to follow the old ancient riverbed. And the reason why that's important is because it's a consistent material stratus. So the soil composition is the Merton Formation. It's old rock, sand, gravel, and very consistent. And so the alignment follows that consistency, and that allows us to be consistent with the type of equipment that we use to build the tunnel.
When you do a construction project like this, especially this tunnel work, but you have to decide how much exploratory drilling you really do to understand what the geology is and how much water inflow you might have when you would encounter during construction. And there's a cost to all that. So you have to make an educated guess on how much you want to do. But no matter what, you're going to encounter things that you wouldn't expect. We've already had that situation, those situations occur just in building the downstream tunnel. There's some areas where there was softer rock than what we had expected, and that worked in our favor in some ways. And in other ways, you know, there's a unsupported slope that now we have to make some changes and make sure that it's safe to work and ultimately continue operations and maintenance in that area. So it's important to have a contractor that you can count on to work with our engineer, and they both work together to come up with solutions that we consider and ultimately put in place to make sure we don't go over budget, but we get the product that we want in the long term.
Projects of this size and nature are bound to come with their unforeseen circumstances. We pride ourselves on being able to adapt very quickly on the fly. On this job, we're going to be able to showcase a number of Drilltech's capabilities and its subsidiary companies. First and foremost being Drilltech, we're going to self-perform the tunnel excavation work, as well as all the shoring work on the project and excavation work on the project. Our marine construction subsidiary, Dixon Marine, will be performing all marine access work and everything related to work within the water at Goodwin Reservoir. We also have some rockfall mitigation work to help make the construction area safe at the intake structure, and Apex Rockfall Mitigation will be performing that work.
We're looking at about 2 years of actual mining, building, excavating the spoils from the tunnel to build the actual tunnel itself. But at the same time that we're tunneling, it's almost like we have 2 projects going at once. So we'll have the contractor working in the marine conditions at Goodwin Dam, constructing the upstream portal, which is quite an extensive and complicated part of the project. In fact, it's probably the most complicated part of the project, just in terms of difficult access, dealing with a water body, cofferdams, and then obviously the slope stability component. We have to make sure that it's a safe place to work. But for the next year, we'll be kind of in 2 modes. We'll be tunneling from the downstream portal up, and then on the upstream side, we'll be building the tunnel portal and redoing the diversion works and installing our gates. This is probably the best team of engineers, construction managers, and contractors that I've had the pleasure to work with. Overall, what you have in the contractor and what you have in a construction manager and an engineer, they're problem solvers. They know how to deal with the issues, they know how to get through hard times, and they know how to coordinate with the owner to make sure that we end up with a successful project at the end of the day.